Okay, we'll get started. Mr. Kazmark, will you please call the roll?
Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park for May 7th, 2009 to order. On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Here.
Castiglia.
Here.
Conboy is absent. McLaughlin.
Here.
Cherwinski.
Here.
Lonsino.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Will everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? O God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting, which we trust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whereas Chapter 231, the Public Laws, State of New Jersey, requires at the commencement of each meeting a statement by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised, the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by posting an annual notice in the Record of Hackensack and the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in the public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2007. Mr. Clerk, please be notified that Mr. Conboy is in attendance. Ladies and gentlemen, this council meeting is being televised. It's on tape, and it will be on Wednesday at 3 p.m., Channel 77, Wednesday at 3 p.m., Thursday 1 p.m., and Friday at 11 a.m. Wednesday 3 p.m., Thursday 1 p.m., Friday 11 a.m., or our website is www.elmwoodparknewjersey.us. Okay, I read these at the beginning of each meeting, and hopefully if I don't forget, I read them at the end of each meeting. The dates that are set change every 3 months, cable every 6 months, I'm sorry. Every 6 months we have to notify a cable that we want 3 more dates, and they give us 3 dates, and it's not necessarily the same dates all the time, so please bear with us on that. May I have a motion to approve the regular meeting about April 16th and the executive session of April 23rd?
So moved.
Mr. McLaughlin, second?
Second.
Mr. Castiglia. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Mayor, tonight under ordinances, we have Resolution 134-09, introduce ordinance 09-12 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park by adding a new section 4-40 to be entitled Regulation of Limousines, which section provides for certain limousines to be issued by the borough, procedures for issuing the licenses and penalties for violation of this chapter, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, May 21st, 2009 at 8 p.m. or soon thereafter, as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the borough clerk be and is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction as required by law. Mayor, I would request tonight that the council table this introduction until it can be taken up at a work meeting so that we can properly set the violation fines for this ordinance.
We didn't have that in there?
Whether or not I wanted the council to discuss that first.
Oh, okay. May I have a motion to table, please?
So moved.
Mr. Boncino, Mr. Castiglia. No discussion. Call the roll, please.
On roll call to table this ordinance, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Cherwinski.
Yes.
Lonsino.
Yes.
Mayor, this will be placed on the work meeting so we can review it, and then we'll reintroduce it at a future council meeting in the public.
Thank you.
Resolution 135-09, introduce ordinance 09-13 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled a bond ordinance to authorize the 2009 road resurfacing program in, by, and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $300,000 to pay for the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finish such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of issuance of such bonds, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, May 21st, 2009, at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all interested parties can be heard on said ordinance. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Stigler, any discussion? Ladies and gentlemen, the roads that we're going to be paving, it's $300,000. That's our money. In many cases, we get community development money, state grant money. We're paving the boulevard, a portion of it, and that's state money. We're paving part of Martha and part of Kip Avenue. That's county money through the federal government. But this is our money, and we have a potpourri of streets on here. Many of them are intersections. We're in dire need to review our intersections and repave our intersections. And the reason for that, quite frankly, is when it's really hot out and you get these big tractor trailers and buses and everything, they stop and literally start pushing the macadam. And then the winter time, the water gets in, it kicks it all up. So we're going to try to do many intersections, but there are a couple longer areas of streets that we're doing also. Call the roll, please.
On introduction, council members Catamagna,
Yes.
Castiglia,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
McLaughlin, Chernwinski,
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, tonight under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 136-09, establish an amendment to the temporary budget appropriations for the year 2009.
Could you explain that, please?
Sure, Mayor. If you'll look at Resolution 13609, because we've passed through the first quarter of the year, the Chief Financial Officer needs to amend the temporary budget so that we can maintain the operation of the municipality as we enter into the second quarter between now and the time that we adopt the final budget for 2009.
It's not an increase of the budget, it's just asking for more money so we can continue to operate until the budget's adopted.
That's correct. Resolution 137-09 to authorize application for the 2008 recycling tonnage grant. Resolution 13809, authorize tax reimbursement certification for the recycling tonnage grant. Resolution 13909, refund recreation after school program for Rosa Alzamora. Resolution 14009, redeem third-party tax lien for Robert Del Vecchio Pension Trust. Resolution 14109, redeem third-party tax lien for Crusader Servicing Shop Corp. Resolution 14209, redeem third-party tax lien for Robert Del Vecchio Pension Trust. That's a separate redemption from 140. 14309, refund overpayment of taxes, Neil and Eileen Vital. And 14409 is to approve application for the 2008 Green Communities Grant.
May I have a motion for these consent resolutions?
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Chewinski, any discussion? Ladies and gentlemen, this group of resolutions has been approved by the council prior to the meeting. Everybody's agreeing on them, and instead of wasting the time reading, just redeem a third-party lien and things of that nature. We'll vote on them all together. Call the roll, please.
On the consent agenda, council members Catamagna,
Yes.
Castiglia,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
McLaughlin,
Yes.
Chernwinski,
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Motion on the consent agenda passes. Resolution 14509. Whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park has determined that Phase 2 streetscape improvements to Market Street from Beach Street to Boulevard will qualify for a New Jersey Department of Transportation grant for Transportation Enhancement Project. And whereas, based on the review and recommendations from Boswell Engineering, a grant application has been prepared that does comply with the requirements of the Department of Transportation Enhancement Grant Program. And whereas the mayor and council desire to continue the improvements to Market Street with a streetscape application. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, they formally approve the grant application for the above stated project. Be it further resolved that the mayor and council are hereby authorized to submit an electronic grant application identified as TE-ARRA for Elmwood Park Borough 00141 to the New Jersey Department of Transportation on behalf of the Borough of Elmwood Park. Be it further resolved that the mayor and clerk are hereby authorized to sign the grant agreement on behalf of the Borough of Elmwood Park, and that their signature constitutes acceptance of the terms and conditions of the grant agreement and approve the execution of the grant agreement.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. McLaughlin, second. Mr. Vocino, any discussion?
Mayor, this is the grant we were supposed to get letters of recommendation right from the
Yes.
freeholders maybe? I know we didn't get any from the freehold, but we received one from Senator Gordon.
Yes.
Let me tell you, this man is pretty prompt. I called him, and in 2 days we had this letter. I really appreciate his time and effort on this.
Thank you.
You know, how far are we going with this, Mayor?
It goes from Beach Street to the boulevard. This is to pave it, put the pavers in and redo the street, just as they've done from the municipal building up to Beach Street. That was done a few years ago, so we're reapplying, see if we can get the rest of Market Street done the same way, so with the lights, the decorative lights, instead of the lights on the pole, it might look a lot nicer all through there. I just wonder how Mr. Kazmark, who is a councilman in Woodland Park, would do Woodland Park if they had to put this application in with TERRA 00141, and they're going to say there's no such place as Woodland Park. It used to be West Patterson. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
McLaughlin? Chewinski?
Yes.
Valentino?
Yes.
Motion carries. And for the record, we voted on this resolution last night.
You what?
We voted on the same resolution last night.
Well, hope they don't lose it, because we did that many years ago here to get a library, and they told us there was no such town as Elmwood Park.
Maybe they'll give us double the money. They wouldn't even know.
Resolution 146-09, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the firm of Lurch, Vinci, and Higgins LLP be and is hereby authorized to provide professional services to review the defeated 2009-2010 school budget of the Borough of Elmwood Park School District. Be it further advised that the aforesaid services shall not exceed $7,500.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Chewinski, second, Mr. Conboy. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, one question I have on this. When did we, maybe our borough clerk can answer this, when did we receive the budget? Weren't we supposed to receive it 2 days after their meeting?
Through the Mayor, Councilman, it's recommended by the County Superintendent that we receive the defeated school budget the Thursday following the Tuesday election. In this case, we did not receive the school budget until the following Wednesday, so it was a week and a day after the defeat of the school budget.
I don't understand why we get it so late. It gives us less time to work on it, and it's public record anyway. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
I agree with you, Mr. Chewinski. It should be given to us
Immediately.
almost immediately, but I understand there were some problems at the school with conventions or something, and it's been held up.
Well, next time I...
We now have it. We now have it. This, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is for our auditor to review the school board budget that was defeated, so that we have a better perspective of the amount of money that was in the budget, and if any should be cut or shouldn't be cut. He will get back to us on that. Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
McLaughlin?
Yes.
Chewinski?
Yes.
Valentino.
Yes.
We'll have an open public portion a little later on. You can ask questions.
Resolution 147-09. Whereas the bid opening committee did receive bids for the curbside collection of recycling in the Borough of Elmwood Park on April 23, 2009 at 11 a.m. And whereas the committee did receive 2 bids pursuant to the advertisement for curbside recycling collection. The bid results were as follows. Great Northern Recycling from Newark, New Jersey, for 1-year term, cost of $134,160. 2 years, $276,640. 3 years, $414,960. Advanced Recycling of Hillsdale, New Jersey. 1 year, $112,000 even. 2 years, $238,000 even. 3 years, $392,000 even. Whereas the Borough Attorney has reviewed the bid submissions and finds that the low bid of Advanced Recycling complies with notice and bid specifications. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the 3-year low bid of Advanced Recycling in the amount of $392,000 be, and the same is hereby awarded.
Motion, please.
So moved.
I second.
Mr. Chewinski, Mr. Caramagna, any discussion? I think this is good. It's
Different.
I think it's just slightly above what it was last time we had it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same recycling agent that we have now, so he does a good job helping us out. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
McLaughlin?
Yes.
Chewinski?
Yes.
Valentino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 148-09, whereas application has been made to the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park to transfer person-to-person plenary retail distribution liquor license 0211-44-001-005, heretofore issued to Lil's Delicatessen and Liquor Incorporated, to Market Street, Elmwood Park, LLC. And whereas the proper fees have been paid and the paperwork is in order, and whereas the Division of Taxation has issued a tax clearance certificate for transfer, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that plenary retail distribution liquor license 0211-44-001-006 hereto issued to Lil's Delicatessen at 234 Market Street B and is hereby transferred to Market Street, Elmwood Park, LLC. Mayor, before we move on this, I'd just like to read into the record a letter I received from the potential buyer of this liquor license who is making a request that the council again table this resolution. This is from Richard Turano, attorney at law. Please be advised that I have been informed by the seller's attorney that Lil's Delicatessen and Liquors filed for bankruptcy on 5609, case number 09-21664, wherein same efforts the ABC transfer hearing in this matter. The ABC liquor license transfer hearing is scheduled for tonight, May 7, 2009. Due to the bankruptcy filing, the hearing would need to be carried over in order to determine the status of the matter and the trustee regarding bankruptcy and my client's position status. I have been informed by the seller's attorney that this may take up to 30 days, and it would be necessary for this to be adjourned. So Mr. Turano is requesting that the council table this, and we could possibly bring it back in the month of June if both parties are prepared for transfer.
Motion to table?
So moved.
Mr. Chewinski, second by Mr. Cavanagna. Call the roll, please.
Motion to table, Resolution 14809. On roll call, council members Catamagna,
Yes.
Castiglia,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
McLaughlin,
Yes.
Chewinski,
Yes.
Valentino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 149-09, whereas application has been made to the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park to transfer person-to-person plenary retail distribution liquor license 0211-33-025-005, being held as a pocket license by Bonnie Rizzi of 7-40 Cross Meadow Drive, Fair Lawn, New Jersey, to Judith Clark, 01 35th Street, Fair Lawn, New Jersey, DBA JGL Entertainment, LLC, to be held as a pocket license. Whereas the proper fees have been paid and the paperwork is in order, and whereas the Division of Taxation has issued a tax clearance certificate for transfer. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that plenary retail distribution liquor license 0211-33-025-006, heretofore held as a pocket license by Bonnie Rizzi of Fair Lawn, New Jersey, be and is hereby transferred to Judith Clark, DBA JGL Entertainment, LLC, of Fair Lawn, New Jersey, to be held as a pocket license.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Chewinski, second. Mr. Castiglia, discussion?
This pocket license, which I mean, if somebody has a license in possession,
Yeah, they don't have a place for it, so they have the license.
they can open up anywhere in town, or they have to come before
Well, they'd
us?
have to find a place for it and then apply for it. But they own the license now.
They have the license.
That's a DBA and a JGL and an LLC used to work for Franklin Roosevelt when he first got in. Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamagna,
Yes.
Castiglia,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
McLaughlin,
Yes.
Chewinski,
Yes.
Valentino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 150-09, whereas application has been made to the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park to transfer person-to-person, place-to-place plenary retail distribution liquor license 0211-44-007-008, hereto issued to John Molina, 197 Parkway, Maywood, New Jersey, DBA Japano Gold, Incorporated, to Somras, Incorporated, DBA M&M Discount Wine and Liquors. And whereas the proper fees have been paid and the paperwork is in order, and whereas the Division of Taxation has issued a tax clearance certificate for transfer. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that plenary retail distribution liquor license 0211-44-008-009, heretofore issued to Japano Gold, Incorporated, be and is hereby transferred to Somras, Incorporated, DBA M&M Discount Wine and Liquors.
Motion, please.
Isn't it two different numbers here?
Well, what happens, Councilman, is it's Formally, when it's under the prior, or the seller, I should say, it's 8, and then once it is transferred, it becomes 9.
Same thing on the other ones. Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Chewinski, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Vocino. Discussion? Call the roll.
Council members: Catania,
Yes.
Castiglia,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
McLaughlin, Kowinski,
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, tonight on the agenda, we have reports from the Police Department, the Department of Public Works, and the Building Department.
May I have a motion to receive and file? McLaughlin, second.
Second.
Conboy, discussion, all in favor, opposed, so ordered. And the two applications, St. Leo's Wheels and St. Leo's 50/50. Motion to approve. Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. McLaughlin, any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. Committee reports, Mr. Caramagna?
Yes, Mayor. As to the Board of Education, I arrived late. I just missed you. You left. And because I had to attend another meeting prior to that for the earthquake. Right now, we try to raise money to help those victims in Italy. And then I went to a meeting to the Board of Education. After that, I went back to the other meeting. So back and forth. Used a lot of gasoline. Also, Mayor, what are we doing about Vini Fava? I know you guys approved to put a banner across Market Street, and then you rescind the vote. Can something be done? This kid is a national champion. We never had a national champion in our hometown. The school already put in the bulletin outside, they already mentioned that. I spoke to the principal myself, and I know you guys were in favor to do something to recognize this kid. You want to do something else? I really don't know. Whatever you guys, but something should be done. We should recognize this kid.
I have no problem bringing him in here and having a certificate given to him. That would be fine with me.
What about banner? What happened to the banner? I know Mr. Conti was willing to pay for the expense.
I don't
Keep a
know.
banner for a month.
I don't know anything about the Mr. Conti paying for a banner.
That's what I heard.
Does anybody
Last
else
time
have
I
any
came here.
comments?
Mr. Conti said you will pay for that. No?
No, I didn't hear that, Frank. I didn't hear anything of that nature. Oh, I remember it was Mary Goldberg came in asking about it, and she was going to raise the funds for that.
What
And
I
Mr.
think we have
Conti
to-
told her
What I think
that
we
he would
have
pay
to,
for it.
what I think we have to do now, from what I understand, the Board of Rec wants to put up a banner for Community Day, and then we have, somebody else wants to put up a banner other than that. I think we have to put down some rules and regulations so that we don't have everybody coming in.
All right, what about a poster right Market Street and the Boulevard, like we did for those kids who came back from Iraq?
From the back,
For-
put up something,
Can we do something like that? Yeah,
that's fine.
nice poster. You guys agree with that or not?
I have no problem.
Rich?
Well, we already approved another one from Iraq. Somebody was going to put one up. So
You mean by the tank there, Frank?
by the
Yeah,
tank,
by the tank,
yeah,
yeah.
somebody's already going to use that space for their son coming home.
Yeah, we'll find out,
Yeah.
we'll find out what
No
time that,
problem.
Something should be done, I guess, about
No,
the,
but
you know.
we'll come to the
they're
meeting,
doing
give it a word.
something at the school property?
Yeah, something was, already they post the bulletin outside.
Yeah,
on the
that's
River
good.
Drive.
That's good.
There's something done about.
Yeah, we'll
It's not
check.
just this is a school event, it's also honors all of
Right.
us in Elmo Park. That's why all of us should recognize this.
I agree with you, Frank, so we should bring it before the public and the TV, right here. We can bring before the council and, right here, and this way you can promote your town a little bit. No problem with me.
They want to put a banner up across Market Street. Keith, would you find out the young lady who's returning from Iraq and when that is going to be put up, and as soon as that's down, if the
think it's-
father family wants to put something up on that same board, that's fine.
I think it's the end of June, Mayor, but I'll verify in the letter that I was sent.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Caravagna?
That's all for the moment.
Thank you. Mr. Chewinski?
Yeah, real quick. You know, to get this letter from Bob Gordon was a pleasure, but while I was on the phone, I went through our laundry list again with him, and I did mention the sound barriers, and we all know that Senator Corzine was on Route 46 today in Lodi promoting the highway they're going to be working on. And the answer to the sound barrier, Mayor, I hope you're sitting for this one. They don't have them on 208 yet, so it doesn't look like Route 80, a federal highway, is going to get it yet. And I
Well, it
said,
only took them 20 years or 30 years to fix the intersection 208 and Route 4, and I don't know why they need sound barriers there. We have a lot more
Exactly.
traffic
Well,
over here on Route 80 than they do on 208.
well, I go through the laundry list every time to try and promote it.
I would just like to comment on it. I called Congressman Rothman, office and spoke to his chief aide in Washington, and from what I understand, the money is not allocated by Congressman Rothman. The money is given over to the Department of Transportation in New Jersey, and then they allocate the money. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, but I don't know how long we can keep our fingers crossed. I'm having trouble writing with my crossed fingers for 14 years. But yes, I did call.
Yeah, keep trying.
Absolutely.
On another note, at the fire department meeting, the liability issue came up about the Scott packs and the Scott masks. So now they have to be fitted for each individual firefighter, because they're finding some liability problems where somebody might take somebody else's mask and it doesn't fit properly. But they're on top of their game, and they're working on that at the present time.
Good.
They're printing out the county IDs, which will run through the OEM program. So anybody who's on an emergency site will have a special ID to register them as a fireman, police officer, whatever, that they're entitled to be on that scene. And speaking of OEM, I attended as a volunteer the OEM coordinating meeting when the flu broke out, and it went from a level 4 to a level 5, and it's back down now. It was quite interesting and a lot learned, but the bottom line is if that ever did hit, which it evidently doesn't look like it's going to, they need between 40 to 80 volunteers just to hand out the medicines. So if anybody would like to apply, it'd be nice just to talk to Debbie Ritchie at the Board of Health so she puts your name on a list. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Castiglia?
Yes, Mayor. The sprinkler system, I don't know if Tom was going to mention it. The sprinkler system is up and running over on the field. We mentioned that last time. The company is coming back, the construction company, the irrigation company that put it in. They're going to be coming back and putting a rain sensor on it. Everybody knows what that is, so this way when a certain amount of rain gets in the sensor, the system won't kick on. That's something that, usually when they put a system like that in, the rain sensor is something that the company just throws in for no extra charge, so they're going to be coming back and doing that. We had a donation from, I don't know if you remember it, we had a donation from Marcal, a bunch of evergreen trees. From what I understood at the time, me and Scott ran down to Marcal, Scott from the DPW, and they had, I think, about 50 evergreen trees down there that were going to be donated to the town. Now, last I heard was today, Scott ran over there immediately because the way I understand there was only 5 or 6 left. So I don't know what happened to the 50 or 60, but we wound up getting 5 or 6 trees out of there, I think.
I believe that we're having trouble making communication with Marcal here and their facility in Maine or one in Massachusetts.
Boston, I think, yeah.
And I think there was a dual commitment made between Patterson and Elmwood Park, and some were given over to Patterson.
All right, I haven't seen the 5 or 6 trees that we wound up with. One that Scott and I had picked out was going to replace the town Christmas tree over by the tank on Borough Field. I hope that was one of the 5 or 6 that was left there.
I hope so.
I hope so, yeah. Also, the mayor and I were honored to be involved with the Reverend Thornton from the First Presbyterian Church. He's with him and some other clergy are involved in the West Bergen Ministerial Association. I got that right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. They seem to be starting a new tradition where they're going to plant a tree on Earth Day every year. So we were over at Rosemont Park in my neighborhood on Earth Day, which was about 2 weeks ago, April 22nd. The mayor and I were there. We were involved with Girl Scouts, I believe, from St. Anne's, and this association was there, the Ministerial Association. They paid for the tree. They donated the tree. DPW planted it in Rosemont Park. So like I said, it's a tradition that they're planning on starting, and we're happy that the first one was here in Elmwood Park. So, of course, we planted an elm tree. And that's about it, Mayor.
Thank you. He let it slide by. It's an elm tree.
It's an elm tree.
We wanted them to get an elm tree, and Lenore Moscow was heading up along with Reverend Thornton. She lives in the area, and she wanted the tree planted in Rosemont Park. So we now have an elm tree that could be there hopefully 100 and some years.
It wasn't that easy finding an elm either.
No, and it's a Princeton elm. And part of the problem we have is there is a disease that's killing a lot of elm trees, and this Princeton elm is supposed to be resistant to the disease. So we try that, and if we go back tomorrow and it's dead, then the swine flu got it. I don't know. Mr. Vocino.
Sure. Relative to building and grounds, various projects are being undertaken here at the municipal building. New carpet was installed in the Detective Bureau and at the police dispatcher desk, and various electrical projects such as the lights at the flagpole and in front of the police station have been repaired. Down at the rec center, there's some parking lot lights that are in disrepair. The PSE&G was contacted, and they're going to put some high-efficiency lighting in the large parking lot. In the health department clinic downstairs, we're going to do some work in that area. That's scheduled to start May 20th, and Scott hopes to wrap that up by June 1st. And he's working on a detailed plan to do some reconfiguring here at the municipal building. And we're close to having the plans put together, but we also are looking into the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities has a clean energy program, and it's an energy program that promotes efficiency and provides incentives to incorporate systems that help save energy, save money, and save the environment. So Scott's going to look at that in concert with his plans for the building. Hopefully we'll tap into some of those incentives.
Thank you.
Just one point on the Board of Health and the swine flu. I know it was brought up. Debbie Ritchie in the Health Department, the most important thing to go along with what Rich talked about in terms of the staging and the planning, the most accurate place you can get information on the swine flu is the Center for Disease Control website. That's www.cdc.gov/swine flu. And on that site, there's a number of handouts and frequently asked questions to get residents better prepared to identify and deal with it. So that's the best place for information.
Thank you. If I could ask the councilman, when they talk about Scott, just indicate that Scott Cars is our DPW superintendent, and everyone may not be familiar with Mr. Cars. Thank you, Mr. Vocino. Mr. Conboy?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I would like to just piggyback on a few things that were said here already. The Councilman Castiglia mentioned the work that's been done down by Borough Field. The sprinklers have been a great help. Scott Cars, our DPW superintendent, and his staff have already power seeded the field twice, taking advantage of the, Mr. Cars is always on top of the weather, so he's been monitoring the sprinklers with taking advantage of the rain that we've been getting and not running the sprinklers, so he's been on top of that. But they're taking advantage of the great weather coming with, unfortunately, it's the rainy weather, but they are taking advantage of it for the growth of grass down at the field. And if you get a chance, they've had to mow it now twice. There's a lot of great, we're seeing more than ever before. So the sprinklers are really paying off. A lot of spots that would normally be dirt spots constantly are really coming back real nice. And of course the rain has helped as well in the cooler weather with the rain. So I want to thank him and his staff for the hard work they've been putting into that. Also, just a quick mention, I don't know if anybody else had a chance yet to see it, but the salt shed is up, and Larry wants to bounce back to his report, but I did check it out last night. The door was open, so I went in. Nobody came around to tell me to get out. No, but it is up. It looks good down there. I think we've done some good work down there all together, and they're going to be finishing up the projects down there, so that is up, and looks like a nice, looks good. Anyway. From a recreation standpoint, a lot of great things happening over the next couple of weeks. I just want to mention again, for the folks that are here and also that will catch this on TV, they're doing the spring fling dance for all of for all the seniors, over 50 and over, and a new addition to make the evening more special. They were able to get Peter Lieberman is coming to do the music. So for all our folks that catch us on TV or on our web or in the audience here, pass on the word. That is going to be on May 19th. Call the rec to reserve your spot. We'll have a nice pasta dinner with pasta, meatballs, and light refreshments. Just want to remind everybody that on June 6th, our annual Community Day is coming up. They're doing a great job down there, making it a great day for the kids. They're retooling some of the things from the past, so it should be a nice day. Hopefully the weather will cooperate, and our lawn will look great. Something else that's going on down at the rec, our rec director is trying something new this year. She's bringing in this outside company who's going to work with us. In August, she's offering an all-new sports summer camp for 2 weeks after the regular camp is over. Something else for the kids to do. It offers 15 different sports to do during those 2 weeks. something else to check out down at the rec. Also, their cheerleading clinic will be kicking off shortly in June, so please join the cheerleading clinic. It's a great couple of weeks of a clinic they have down there. Every year it grows in attendance. And also, folks, for everybody who, make sure you're checking your child's backpack, because the summer camp letter went home, the flyer, all the details. Already registration's going strong at the rec. We'll take a quick advantage of it and get on this real quick. I also asked the rec department to see if the police department, if they're not currently using the sign that they bought last year through monies they had gotten, the big, huge, construction sign that we had out by the field. If they're not using it at the moment, could we reuse that again to promote some of the events that are happening? Eventually, the rec would like to purchase down the road through funding or grants a big community board like it itself to keep the borough informed of what's happening. So that's what's happening down at the recreation. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. McLaughlin?
Hold on, Mr. Convoy. The community day, if you want to rent a table, what do you have to call the rec center?
Yes, letters were sent out to all businesses. You just call the recreation.
How much is a table, do you know?
I'm not sure. I want to say
$50?
$50. $50.
$50?
Yeah, I think that's the same fee it's been for years.
Okay, thank you.
$50. I know they're having, it is going to be changed. The community day is a little bit different this year. The commission talked about doing the flea market vendor they usually use was overbooked, so they couldn't get them. They thought of doing a garage sale type, letting residents, get a table and sell stuff. But what they're going to do is just make it a fun day for the community. They have a lot of rides already planned. They have a petting zoo coming. They got the train again that we had last year for the first time, which was very successful. They are a little short. If anybody's seeing this, catches this on TV or the web or in the audience, they are short vendors with regarding food. So Ms. Puglisi, our rec director, and her staff are recalling different organizations again about that. So that's a nice day.
Thank you. Once again, Mr. McLaughlin?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to pay tribute to one of Elmwood Park's finest, one of our policemen. If you saw the article, I'm sure you did, in our great paper, the Community News, last week. Well, one of our policemen was on another job. He's a narcotics officer, but he saw something he didn't like. He saw a person who turned out to be a 41-year-old man with a 14-year-old girl, and he was alert enough to go over and question him, and they gave vague answers, and he pursued it. Well, he called in the troops, and they arrested the person, and now they're investigating for maybe another person, another girl might be involved. So I just want to say thank you very much and commendations to this particular narcotics officer who I won't mention, but the fact that he was alert to his complete surroundings, not only what he was assigned to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Giblin? No report. Just a couple items here. We're talking about the swine flu down at the Board of Health. I just want to tell everybody that in 1978, Frank Sinatra sang a song called I Love My Wife. In the lyrics, he mentions about having swine fever. So nothing's really new. That was 1978. Now we're calling it swine flu. He called it swine fever. I would sing it for you, but I lost my lyrics, so I'll skip that. Okay. We'll be paving the boulevard from our path mark on Route 4 down to Elmwood Drive, late May, early June. We have to get the bids in, and then they'll start paving that area. We're jumping up and coming back on the boulevard because that's a particularly bad area. So anybody who lives in and around that, anybody who lives in town who goes on Boulevard to Route 4 knows how bad that is. So we're going to be doing that. That is a grant that we're getting. We're working on Kip Avenue. I don't know if Mr. Castiglia mentioned that, fixing the water pipe and paving a part of that street, and we'll continue to seek grants for that. I did call Bergen County Executive McNerney 2 days ago. We were going to attend the Freeholder meeting yesterday on Wednesday, and he was having enough trouble there with other groups coming in, so we want to make an impact. We'll call him again this week. I told him I would get in touch with him about where we're going with the park. As you know, we're not going anywhere with the park. It was originally sought after in the year 2000. It was purchased in 2004, and it's 2009. We still don't have anything. One of the good things that may have happened is, if you read the paper yesterday, there were a group of people who attended that freeholder meeting demanding that they not spend $4 million plus $4.7 million for the equestrian area in Overpeck. All we want is a few dollars to fix the area up so that we can have a walking path. They're spending $4.7 million for horses. We don't want horses in our park. So if we can sit down with them again, the stalling is getting ridiculous. It's up to $80 million for Overpeck Park, and it just goes on and on. I hope we can resolve it for the people of Elmwood Park. It's most important, and we'll call them, and if all of us can go down again and see what we can do, I think we would like to have that property. Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard at this time? Mr. Kaplan? Please give your name and address. Come to the lectern.
Avenue, Elmwood Park. This has nothing to do with the borough. If I may, Mr. Conboy mentioned June 6th. June 6th, for you young people that don't remember, is D-Day,
right.
The invasion of Normandy. The county is having a ceremony June 6th at 3 p.m. at the Ling Submarine behind the Heritage Diner on River Road in Hackensack to honor the D-Day, or anybody who participated in D-Day is being honored. If you know of anybody, your aunt, your uncle, your brother, your cousin, your next-door neighbor, call the Bergen County Veterans, and they will put their name on the list and honor the D-Day veterans. Thank you.
Thank you, Mel. We do have one individual who works for the borough, Mr. Jack McGrath, who is with the Screaming Eagle paratroopers who flew over D-Day and parachuted into France. And the book Band of Brothers has a full page dedicated to him and his exploits on that invasion. So, yeah, Jack is just a great guy, and I'll tell him. Anyone else who wishes to be heard? Yes, sir. Name and address, please.
Ashraf Sami, Caruth Avenue, Elmwood Park. I'm here to speak to you as our community server, and you are doing a great job, as I see now.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to speak to you, but what I want to get is the taxes are too. Please.
You can take that microphone now.
You can please consider.
Thank you, Mel, but we're not going to pay you for that.
Some of the owners in my street cannot make even painting of their houses from outside or increase the tax. Some of them cannot even make any improvement in the outside of the house because of increase of the tax. I have my property. Last year I put all my money in it, down payment, and had settled myself for the mortgage and the expense. And when I realized that there is increase in tax, I tried to contact anybody or to tell anybody why it increased 1,100 once in my property, which in other counties they are not increasing that much, maybe less, especially during the recession you are living in. So I know that you are doing great job for our community. I'm happy to be here. I want you to reconsider for the taxes, and it is not suitable to increase it at that time, especially with the recession we are all suffering from.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I spoke to you on the phone. I explained that 30% of the taxes controlled by this council, 70% by the school board, and get those numbers reduced.
Yes, I want my children to be happy, but I want also to survive.
Yes,
So
I
we have to
understand.
consider the adult, we have to consider the children, and especially if there is a recession, so we can help them at home.
Yes.
We cannot destroy the home to build a school. We have to live. I saw a lot of neighbors suffering. So I want you to consider that others are suffering from the recession. They have fixed salary or fixed income. They cannot afford the high increase, 1,100 once. It is a big for us. Especially the prices of our properties went down. I paid all my saving, which was $100,000 down payment. So I cannot have increase it. Others like that, others cannot even pay for it. So just to let you know that we are suffering for that, please don't increase the taxes. And if it is possible to reconsider, Union County reconsidered and they increased it $600 for a property, and they reconsider it and decrease it again after that. So I hope that you can do that.
Thank you. We will certainly look at that. We're going to review the school board budget as soon as the auditor comes in. And one of the things I do want to indicate to you is Mr. Conboy, Councilman Conboy, indicated that we had to put up a salt shed because the DEP, Department of Environmental Protection, required that we build a salt shed. We used to have an area that was macadamized, it was covered, it was completely isolated so that it wouldn't go into the river. They demanded we put up a salt shed, and we paid about $270,000 to almost $300,000 because the DEP wanted their type of salt shed. That's what helps. It hurts us. And if the state would just understand that we're not trying to hurt the community environmentally or the river environmentally, this is salt. When it snows, we put the salt on the street, and it goes into the river. They want us to put in a salt shed because it might go into the river.
Yes, I know that.
Don't try to explain that. You can't explain how we put it on the street and it goes into the river, but if it's sitting in a salt shed that's covered, it doesn't go into the river. So all those things put together, we're trying real hard. There's gas, electricity, everything else goes up, but we're working at it. Please.
Yes, and we have to survive for that. And all I want to know that you are doing everything nice, and if you have extra money, you are going to do much more, improvement for the for our community. But in this type or this time of the year with a recession which affects all of us, we cannot afford increased taxes. I have a lot of plans to improve the school or to improve the community. That's good. But when we have that to afford or even to support for donation even. But we cannot have that during the recession. That's what I'm saying to you. A lot of people during the recession suffering.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Anyone else who wishes to be heard? Excuse me? I don't know.
Mayor, tonight we will need to enter into executive session. So with your permission, I'd like to read the
Mr. Kaczmarek,
resolution.
may I close the meeting to the public?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. May I have a motion to close the public portion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Conboy, second by Mr. Vocino. All in favor, opposed, so ordered. Mr. Kaczmarek, you have an erudite statement you want to make.
Yes, Mayor, we need to go
I
into
just
executive.
figured that word out, so I throw it in.
We need to go into executive session for a personnel matter this evening. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss personnel within the tax assessor's office, minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting. Mayor, we'll need a motion and a second.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia, second.
Second.
Mr. Vocino, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, so ordered.
And Mayor, we will not need to take any formal action after this, so we'll adjourn from the...
Okay, this is going to be a private meeting. Public it's a personnel meeting. But before I ask for an adjournment, again, the cable channel 77 will televise this meeting Wednesday, 3 p.m., Thursday, 1 p.m., Friday, 11 a.m., or on our website, www.elmwoodparknj.us. Thank you. May I have a motion to adjourn, please? Moved by Mr. McLaughlin, second. Second by Mr. Conboy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Thank you all for coming to the meeting. We appreciate it.